Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Fabulites. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, where I share with you headlines from my news feed so we can stay up on what's going on with the going-ons. And I also share with you my thoughts and perspective on those headlines, on the article, on the subject matter at large. But it's not news, it's just my notes on the news if I have any notes to give you. So, I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Let us proceed with the notes on the news. If you welcome back, if you've been here before, thank you for being a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing if you like what I do. I'm uploading right now as we speak a review for Married to Medicine. Tomorrow I'll be doing The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And you can check out what else is going on this here channel other than notes on the news. And welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for all of the new subscribers and the old subscribers and the gonna be subscribers and the wanna be subscribers who can't quite get their finger to but we gonna keep y'all in the thoughts and prayers, because I know you can get your finger to hit that button. I know you can, because you're fabulous. You can do all things. Man found guilty of manslaughter in the road rage killing of ex-NFL player Joe McKnight. So rest in peace, McKnight. I think I remember hearing about that story because it seemed like I was down south when it happened, and it was in New Orleans, or maybe I had just come here. And the guy just you know, the way it just sounded like murder. So I'm glad he was found guilty. But once again, you know, I'm back at this whole thing of, so what does guilty do to bring the man who was killed back alive? So I don't know. Thousands of people in Kenya are getting free money for 12 years in an experiment that could redefine social welfare around the world. At least 95 dead, 150 wounded in Afghanistan after suicide blast rips through capital. So, you know, rest in peace to those people who made their transition today, for those people who are making their transition, for the friends and family and community. And I mean, Afghanistan has just been like, it's been fire. Like, this is the same country where I think a bunch of people in a hotel got killed, and they were specifically targeting foreigners to kill. I think that they specifically targeted, I don't want to say they because I don't know who they is, but you know, I think they're the official story is that it's like Al-Qaeda type stuff. I think the other day there was some killing at like World Health Organization, Children's Aid Society type of charity that's supposed to be about helping the children. They killed some people. Some people there got killed. I don't know who they is, but you know, they whoever they are who out here killing people. And just you know, healing and health and positive energy and love to the people who are who were injured and are, you know, in the process of healing physically and emotionally. And just to all of us in the world, you know, just much peace and clarity, and like just a deeper connection to good and to God. I mean, good God, who out here killing just people? I mean, I don't know. I don't know really how to understand it. I don't really know how to, you know, I don't really know how to understand it. So if it's something that I need to understand, I guess God help me to understand it. But it's just, it's incomprehensible, like, to me. And I guess, you know, maybe I've never killed one person. You know, I'm just like, we out here killing people now? Saudi billionaire Al-Walid bin Talal freed after paying settlement. So they had a bunch, the crown prince was holding a bunch of his countrymen, his colleagues, his fellow royalty, wealthy people in Saudi in a hotel, the Ritz. I think it was the Ritz. He's been holding them there It seemed like it's been about a month, give or take. It might be more than that. And he said that they were corrupt, I think. And so they basically, now we hear that people are paying fines to be released, like $1 billion. And that's like recompense, theoretically, for the corruption that they've done. These are like very, very wealthy people. And, so again, I don't know what the heck is going on in the world. Where you live plays a big role in how healthy you are. Like they say, places like Mississippi, people are in bad health. But I also feel like not just where you live literally, but where you live. Like, so we living in this space together here now. So drink more water, eat more raw foods, eat more raw fruits and raw vegetables, eat more whole foods. That's the life. That's the environment. That's the neighborhood we in, y'all. We taking good care of ourselves. Young Northern California mayor advances innovative concept of universal basic income, but faces pushback. They trying to get him. I think they trying to get him unelected. They like, oh wait, basic income, and I think that he was crowdfunding it. So he wasn't using money from the government. He wanted people to make donations. And they're like, basically, he an outside agitator because a lot of his support come from people who don't live in the community. So, and I think he's black. But I'm like very fascinated. In Kenya, they doing a 12-year experiment. Here, I think in Northern California, he trying to do something, but the people, some of these people are mad at him. They like, what? Basic income? What? People being able to live in dignity? What? People trying to decide how to use money for themselves instead of somebody telling them exactly how to use it and micromanaging them and harassing them and drug testing them at every turn when you're the one that's using drugs. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Kabul attack. Taliban kill 95 with ambulance bomb in Afghan capital. Oh, that was the other part of it. The bomb was in a ambulance. So I think the area was an area that was restricted to official vehicles. And I think they went in with an ambulance. I mean, that's like the antithesis. That's like the opposite. Like an ambulance theoretically is supposed to be helping people and saving lives, and this ambulance is going in and killing people and taking lives. Villa, one of the world's oldest gorillas, dies in captivity at 60. I don't know why I feel sad for animals that are on lockdown, locked up. The gorilla didn't get to live just their normal gorilla-like life with their fellow gorillas in a gorilla community. They were like in captivity in a zoo with people, human beings. I just feel like I wouldn't want to be locked up in nobody's, I don't know. I don't like that whole, I like freedom. I like freedom. May all beings be free. May all beings be free. Mattress firm president and CEO Ken Murphy is resigning. Now, we were just talking about mattress firm the other day because there's been this whole conspiracy theory going around the internet that mattress firm is a shield, like a money laundering thing, that it's like a fake company. How are there so many mattress firms? In my community, people were saying on the internet, we're saying we got 2 mattress firms. You never see anybody in there. How they surviving? What kind of business is it? It's not legitimate. So now the guy done, he gonna resign. So what's really going on? And it kind of adds credence to this theory that, there's something shady, something suspicious going on. Paris readies for floods as Seine surges higher. FBI releases files on former Fox News chair Roger Ailes, notes gun arrest. Well, it is a word. Florida teacher makes excuse for mistakenly typing racial slur. Instead of typing bigger, she typed Nigger, gave the children their words to learn. One of the parents is like, what's going on? They read, oops, it was a mistake. It was a typo. And now the teacher, instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'm really embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Is like, well, it is a word. Negro, why you complaining? Nigger. I'm like, I don't know what kind of mistake. Was it a mistake? Or was it, some people be faking the funk. Oops, I accidentally typed in instead of B. Oops. You might be in that category, Miss, whatever your name is, Miss or Mr. Florida teacher. And y'all know Florida is, this country is full of hotbeds of foolishness, and Florida is one of those hotbeds of foolishness. Entire USA Gymnastic Board, entire board to resign amid sexual abuse scandal. How l'affaire Hussein Arfa has gripped Madagascar and France. I don't know, must have been something in that was interesting when I hit, something caught my attention. I don't know what it was. Tammy Duckworth, the mom making history in the U.S. Senate. I think she's the first senator to be pregnant. She probably only the second woman. But I'm just saying there hadn't been that many women. And then usually, people don't be of childbearing age. And I think we were talking about it the other day. Was it in Australia that the prime minister is pregnant? And that's like unusual too. I mean, it's like Grey's Anatomy takes a hard look at the talk Black parents have to give their sons about police brutality. Saudi Arabia elites released after paying corruption settlements. We were talking about that earlier. Oscar winner Roger Ross Williams to helm Apollo Theater documentary project from White Horse Pictures. Why is a Maine official getting a severance package after being fired over racist comments? You're fired! Get out! You've done wrong! But here's some money for you. Have you ever been fired? When I got fired, I didn't get no severance package. But I didn't get fired over doing something wrong, and I was working at a nonprofit, so that's a whole nother thing. Venmo's 25-cent instant transfers are now available for everyone. I don't know what, that must have meant something to me too. I'm like, what the hell? Who is Venmo? Oh, it's like you can transfer money, and instead of having to, like, with my credit card system, it's like once somebody pays me with a credit card, then I have to, and then if I transfer it immediately into my account, then like 2 or 3 days later the money gets there. But it's funny, I always think so this is like now you can pay 25 cents and you'll get there instantly. But what's funny to me is that it's virtual cash anyway, and so it's not like back in the day, like when I worked in a community based financial institution that had a credit union, and you were handling things paper, and there was like a time lag because there was like a legitimate time lag. I don't believe that there's a legitimate time lag why it has to take 2 or 3 days for your money to be released. I feel like that's some bull, and they're just using that time lag, they're using that float to invest your money and make more money and keep you disinvested from your money for longer. That's what I feel. I feel like, what is the legitimate reason why you're electronically transferring money, you going into an account, you can't tell if the stuff is available or not? I don't believe that. Supreme Court halts execution of inmate with dementia. We talked about it the other day. He was accused of murdering somebody. Now he's less than 70 in his memory. He's not all here, and he was about to get executed, death row or whatever. And the Supreme Court is like, hold on. I guess if you're not mentally, I guess when you kill somebody, when you kill them to death, you want them to know why they're being killed to death. I guess that's the theory. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of killation and murderation. Cape Town water crisis. Residents urged to turn off toilet taps. Georgia gubernatorial candidate invents new way to do blackface. So she has an ad, and then at the end of the ad, she has a picture of Dr. Martin Luther King, and then the picture comes and it covers up her face. And so it's like her face merges with Dr. King's face. And so she goes from being a white woman to maybe she's Dr. King. I think that's the gist of the ad. Pakistan rescue to start for Killer Mountain climbers. So somebody went up a mountain called Killer Mountain, and now they need to be rescued. sometimes I think we need to like take hints. Now I'm all for adventure, because when I do things that are adventurous, like when I did a ropes course, and like if I ride a roller coaster, it is kind of exciting, and there is something that has to be said for that adrenaline rush. But then there's also like, I would feel very stupid if I was like on a roller coaster and it broke and I broke my head or died or something. And I would also feel stupid if I was like skydiving and my parachute didn't release and I just died there on the spot. I'd be like, dang, I knew better than to do this. Just like if I went up a mountain and I'm like, well, what's the name of the mountain? I'm going up to a mountain. I'm a mountain climb. Oh, it's called Killer Mountain. It seemed like I should be like, I'm a pass on that. You know what I mean? It seemed like you setting yourself up for a problem. Climbing Killer Mountain, jumping out of airplanes, jumping off of buildings, and all of these things. I mean, but I do know that when I have done things, it's exciting, and then afterwards that adrenaline rush, and then you feel like you can do anything. But when I wrote my thesis, the one for college, I don't remember having it for high school. I wrote like a 50-60 page paper to graduate from high school, but to graduate from college, I wrote like a 70, 80, 90 page paper, like a book. I wrote a book to graduate from college. And when I turned that in, it was like I felt like I can do anything. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just like, and that feeling is similar to how I felt when I climbed up that ladder on the ropes course, and then they're like, you're harnessed in and everything, and they're like, jump. And I'm like, I'm not going to jump. I'm going to die. And they're like, no, you're not going to die. Jump and catch that pole. And then all of the rest of the team is like, jump. You can do it, Angela, jump. And I'm like, this is dumb. And then I just like, and then I like jumped, and then I caught the pole, and it was like, oh my gosh. It was like I could do anything. So maybe instead of, doing stuff like jumping off of buildings, I need to write more books. Write more books, baby. Those are the things, those are, I don't want to say I mean, it just seems like disrespectful. Like, are you being a good steward of your life if you jumping off of buildings and jumping out of planes? That's how I feel, really, like deep down. I just feel like you're not really, I feel like we all want to have fun, but you got to use some common sense now. I know different people obviously have different perspectives, but that's just me. Lupito Nyong'o discusses the significance of Black Panther for African people. Not like Africans in America, I bet you. She talking about African people like in Africa. Our cousins. Charlottesville police arrest fourth person in connection with assault of DeAndre Harris. DeAndre Harris, I believe, is the young man that we saw like going into a parking garage or coming out of a parking garage, and a bunch of bully ass, weak ass people jumped on him and beat him, and then they tried to sue him. It was some weird stuff. It was some weird stuff. But anyway, 4 people have been arrested. America. Why we should all be spending more time alone. Do you spend time alone? Do you meditate? Do you pray? Do you journal? For a long time, and I haven't had this practice, I used to do like 15 minutes of prayer in the morning, 15 minutes of meditation in the morning, and 15 minutes of morning pages or journaling in the morning. Like 45 minutes every morning, just quiet time between me and God, I've gotten out of that habit, but maybe because of this headline, I meditated this morning. I'll meditate every, here and there, but it used to be like a straight up practice. I've gotten out of practice. I've gotten rusty, so I need to get back in practice. We all do. And they say that even, because my meditation practice calls for an hour of meditation in the morning and an hour of meditation at night, but even the other people say just 5 minutes of quiet time is really healing. Just 5 minutes. Because somehow it's just like, oh my gosh, 2 hours? I start freaking out. But I can find 5 minutes. I can find 15 minutes. Mexico's tourism minister wants to reduce violence in tourist hotspots by legalizing marijuana. Freestyle Digital Media acquires Being Black Enough. It's about a kid growing up in a white neighborhood, and then somebody say something, he ain't black, and so he go to the hood to find his black cousin who live in the hood, and then he get involved with drugs or something like that. I read the description of what it's supposed to be about. Hawaii senator wants feds to handle future nuclear attack warnings. I guess they've evaluated the stuff. They like, we can't even handle this. We just going, federal government, y'all, if it's going to be a nuclear bomb coming in, y'all let us know. We can't handle it. I always feel sad, like, when I feel like, don't give up, Hawaii. You can do it. You can do it. I feel sad, like, don't quit. Hashtag Female Filmmaker Friday. Women behind the camera celebrate their craft and look to inspire others with Twitter campaign. I saw a couple of things on my Twitter feed yesterday. 6 male BBC presenters take pay cuts after gender gap reveal. I feel like we talked about this, but yeah. Get Out star Lil Rel Howery reveals he wasn't invited to the Oscars. And he said he counted the last year when they had the mix-up at the Oscars where they're like, and the winner is White Group A. And then White Group A came up there, and then it's like some mess and confusion. Then they're like, no, the real winner was Black Group B. And then Black Group B came up. So Lil Rel said he counted all of them people. And he said those were big entourages, and he should have been invited. So I don't know why Lil Rel went. And Lil Rel was not the lead, but he had a part in the piece. He was significant. Remember, that was the guy who worked for the TSA who saved him in the end. He was throughout the whole movie. Researchers, and when they called to check on it, they're like, oh, well, you weren't on the first list of invitees or the first wave. Researchers create tiny robots powered only by moisture. They look like little tape measurers. Researchers search for Kiribati ferry with 50 people on board. I think it was somewhere around India. They just been missing. I think they were expected back. It was like a 2-day, like Gilligan's Island, 24-hour cruise, and then they didn't come back. It's been 2, 3, 4, 5 days, but they were only expecting them to be gone for like a day or whatever. So where are they? What happened? What's going on? 50 people? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. It's not like Gilligan's Island. It was just 7 of them. The professor, Gilligan, the captain, Marianne, the millionaire and his wife. It was 6 of them. It was just 6 of them. I'm missing somebody. Oh, I don't know. The movie star, 7. Hollywood's guilds developing anti-harassment initiatives. That's good. They should be picking my cotton. Another day, another racist Snapchat video surfaces. The recent drastic moves by MoviePass makes one analyst believe it's skating on thin ice. Oh no, and I didn't even get to get my MoviePass thing. I don't want the thing to fall apart. I want it to become more established. There's a Six Flags in New Orleans that's been abandoned for 13 years, and the photos are haunting. I wonder if that's the thing that I would see when I was heading into New Orleans. It was a Six Flags, and it was abandoned when I was there because of Katrina, and they say this one was abandoned because of Katrina. James Franco was photoshopped out of the Vanity Fair cover because of sexual misconduct allegations against him. Yale has been sued by 3 men claiming gender discrimination, and it could change the way universities address sexual assault. Black lives don't matter, says Massachusetts high school student in racist Snapchat videos. Is this the same racist ones or just another one? I've used NYC buses to get around for nearly 2 years, and I'm convinced it's way better than the subway. I used the bus not instead of the subway, but in addition to the subway. There was this West African class I used to take, and I'd take the train and then the bus. Oh no, I'd take the train and I'd walk, and then when I was coming back, I would take the bus down to 59th Street and then take the train. I don't know, but anyway. But the buses get caught in traffic, and the subways, well, maybe it's worse now, but there were delays, but there wasn't traffic. Death of Stalin. Russian police visit cinema defying film ban. Conservative white male Google employees are filing HR complaints over conversations people are having about diversity. They're basically weaponizing the things to prevent them from the systems that were designed to protect black people and women. These white men are weaponizing them to use against black people and women. What a surprise. That is so out of character for them. What just 15 minutes of alone time can do for your mood. We talked about this already. Egypt falls back into the authoritarian pattern as it nears a key presidential election. Jemele Hill will no longer anchor ESPN SportsCenter. Will join Site the Undefeated. She voluntarily did it. I saw her tweeting about it. We visited an H&M store and saw everything that's wrong with this brand. Hillary Clinton reportedly refused to fire a top advisor who was accused of sexual harassment during her 2008 campaign. She investigated. She gave him a paid demotion. She reassigned the woman. And they like, that's the same old bull. And she's like, that's what I did. An NFL owner gave a damning but prescient quote about the handling of negotiations with players about protests during the national anthem. NAACP sues Homeland Security over Haiti immigration policy. And I've made it back to the last day's notes on the news, so that means I'm finished. Thank you for sticking around. I try to keep it around 20 minutes. Some days we a little over, some days we a little under. But that's what I got. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. I appreciate you watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, being here, being you, being fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous, you. Be you.